So I think that is what led me to the street.
Welcome to Kenya. How are you?
I'm good.
First of all, congratulations on your meet and greet that happened yesterday. Of course, people are happy. And what an unexpected journey. When was the last time you were in Kenya?
I was in Kenya in 2019, July, before Corona. I was here with my kids 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
And
Yeah.
also, yesterday you were live on TikTok and you were showing us the zonal times, and of course, your phone was showing two zonal times, time in Kenya and time in Germany. And there's something you said that was a great online. You asked people, you told people, now you know which is my home. And there were some people who are saying maybe you will now disregard Kenya as your home.
I don't disregard Kenya as my home. This is where my parents are buried. So, um, because I'm a woman in Luo community, we do not relate with where you're born. If as a woman, you relate with where you get married. That is where you belong. So I have my kids are not Kenyans. So I identify myself with my kids. That is why I don't belong to Kenya anymore. I belong where my kids belong. So Kenya is just where I was born, and now I live abroad. I will be buried there because my kids, none of them is Kenyan. Yes.
All right, now apart from the meet and greet that you had yesterday at Lavaita, my question is maybe are you having other projects in Kenya?
Yes, I have a few projects. There are not so many. I think the biggest one will be announced tomorrow after it is certified. Yeah.
All right, and also many people online see Nyako as a very tough lady, and of course others fear you. I don't know what you have.
Fear me for what?
Yes.
I'm just that no nonsense woman because my upbringing has made me to be who I am.
Yeah.
I grew up in a boarding school since I was 6 years old. I was never raised with my parents. Um, I went through bullying in boarding school. Um, I had to fight my way always. And when I went abroad, it was the same. Racism, you always have to you always have to fight for something. So that is what made me who I am now. Yes.
And also, in a certain interview, you told us that before you have worked as a prostitute.
Of course I did.
Yes, and I saw a few comments right there, people asking maybe, is it a situation that led you into doing such a job? What is the situation?
Actually, I when I finished my high school, my mother was very sick. I was never raised with my parents, so I didn't know how to take care of my sick mother. I never took care of my mother because I felt like she was never there for me all my life. So I think that is what led me to the streets.
And personally, I would say it's a bold decision for you to come out here and say that you have worked before as a prostitute, and yeah, that's the past, right? Now, moving on, you got into TikTok a few months ago, and all of a sudden you gained a massive following there. I don't know what you have to say about that.
I think it's what I bring on the table that makes people to like who I am because I talk about things that I've gone through all my life. I tackle them the way they happened and what effects it could have if you take the same road that I took. So I think a lot of people are, a lot of people, I don't know how to put it, um, they're inspired with my stories because they're true stories. Yeah.
And maybe how did it feel at the fact that you are gaining followers? People are expecting now Nyako. You know, like you had a fan base. How was it? Was it? Did it come to a shock?
No, no, no. I didn't feel anything because I didn't know the impact.
Okay.
Because in Germany, Germans are so reserved. I live in a German community where they don't even know who I am.
Okay.
So, thank you. So, I didn't even, it didn't have any impact. It was just normal for me.
Did you ever know that Nyako could be a content creator?
No, not at all. I'm just a storyteller, a good one.
Taking you a little back to when you maybe started your journey on TikTok, you can tell us maybe at what situation or at what point did you decide now you're going to take your content on TikTok?
I started telling my stories on Facebook. That was 2021 during Corona, where a certain lady interviewed me on this sensitive topic, my relationship with my mother. That is where my journey started. So I was inspired to tell my story. It was very emotional. That is the story that made me start telling my story online.
And Nyako, maybe after you started telling the story, how did your relatives receive? Was it positive?
I'm not close to my relatives because we were left very young. My mother died when I just finished my high school, so I was left to fend for my siblings. And when both my parents passed on, we were on our own. So I've never been close to my relatives. So I didn't care their opinion because I don't know them anyway.
And right now, you being a star, has any of the relatives tried to approach you, telling you that I'm your auntie, I'm your uncle, I'm your brother?
I know it. I don't want it. They've never been there for me, so I don't need that relationship.
And
we have been doing well since I came from the streets and I made it to Germany. I took my siblings to Germany, and we've been doing well. We are okay.
At this point, maybe can we say this could be the reason maybe saying even after your death you'll be buried in Germany and not Kenya?
No, we are having land issues back at home where my brothers have been. The land that was left there for my siblings was taken away from us without us being consulted in any way. That makes me also very bitter. So if somebody can take what belongs to you without consulting you, it means that these people, they don't want you to be part of them. So we also have here in Nairobi a property. My dad bought property and my brothers are living there permanently. So we are not struggling to be part of anybody. We are okay.
And talking about family, Nyako anatoka katika familia mkoa ngapi? Because yesterday at the event I saw you are two brothers, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I come from a family of 6 kids,
Okay.
8 kids. Okay. 2 of them passed on. 2 of my sisters passed on. And then my parents passed on. Now we are 6. 3 of us, we live in Germany, the girls. We live in Germany. We've been forever in Germany. And 3 of the boys are here. 1 of the boys is a lawyer, a certified lawyer. Yeah, and 2 of my brothers are still struggling with life. Yeah, we are 6 in total.
Now, forgetting the dark past and everything, let's talk about the beautiful journey of TikTok. Please tell us maybe that one thing you love so much about TikTok, because we see you always, maybe I would say most of the time you're live on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is addictive.
Mm-hmm.
It is like drugs. It's like you smoking cigarette or something. And it is a beautiful place when it is positive. It is also very toxic. Yeah, but being the person I am, whether toxic or not, I just carry on with it. It makes my day.
Talking of maybe the dark side of TikTok, we've seen many people. We have trolls. We have people who talk negatively about your content. Is it something you expected? And maybe how did you handle it?
Well, this animosity didn't start on TikTok. It started on Facebook, where there's this group of there's a group. I don't know if I should call it a group. There are groups on Facebook where people form their entity and they identify with that group. So it was just a link that somebody sent to me. I pressed it and it took me there. But I didn't know that that group, they're specialized in bullying. They're very toxic. I didn't know. So I just went